All right, y'all, I don't know if you can tell right now, I'm in this cute little downtown area. It's downtown Forest Lake, just adorable. And right over here, pardon the flag, right back here, got this little alley. This behind me is Forest Lake itself. A really great lake. Huge, well, it's not actually a great lake, but a big, huge lake, and it's frozen over. And cars are out there. Think we should go out there? I think we probably should. How's it going, y'all? My name is Jesse Lynch. I run the hardest working real estate team in the game. We're called To the Twin Cities, and you can check out our website, tothetwincities.com. But this YouTube channel is all about helping you find a place to call home here in beautiful Twin Cities of Minnesota. Today, specifically, Forest Lake, Minnesota. And that's whether you're buying a house for the first time or relocating here from a different city, state, country, or plan. So relocations and first-time home buyers, that's what we do, and that's what we do better than anybody else. So if either of those things appeal to you, do us both a favor, subscribe to this channel, click that little bell to get notified, give the video a thumbs up, and say hey in the comments. I'd appreciate the thumbs up, the comment. It's all very, very helpful to the channel, it's helpful to this video, and it's helpful to other people like yourself who are maybe thinking about moving here or buying a house here. And speaking of that, if that is you, then I implore you to get a hold of us and we will crush it for you. We will help you end up in the right home, in the right spot, exactly for you. So get a hold of us, go to our website, tothetwincities.com. We have a contact form there. You can fill it out, piece of cake, or shoot us an email directly to info@tothetwincities.com. They both lead to the same spot, which is us. And yeah, we'll get you going. We'll get everything headed in the right direction. And in no time, you'll be in a home, you'll be in the Twin Cities. Sound good? Sounds good. Right now, I am on a pedestrian bridge. Actually, I love Minnesota. Right now, it's a pedestrian bridge because I'm on it, but it's a snowmobile bridge as well. Snowmobilers have already driven by me 2 or 3 times as I was coming here to shoot this. So pretty cool. Also, there's some snowmobile cops in Forest Lake, which is also delightfully Minnesotan. I'm like 2 blocks from the lake itself, Forest Lake, little downtown area right over here. Super cute. Forest Lake, I have a fond place in my heart for Forest Lake. My dad lived here for a brief while. Yeah, so just have some fond memories of it. Fishing on Forest Lake or Clear Lake or Green Lake. I think those are technically within the Forest Lake border, but this is the furthest north video that I've ever done. Basically, it's barely considered the Twin Cities Metro. Some people would say it's not, but we help people who very often this is the cutoff. The Forest Lake is their we don't want to go any further north than Forest Lake. So, hey, here we are shooting a video, what it feels like living in Forest Lake. Let's get into it. All right, y'all, we out here. First of all, hey, got a new truck. It's fancy. Second of all, glasses. I'm wearing sunglasses because it's so snowy. It's very, very bright. And the sun reflects off the snow. And third of all, check it out. I'm on a lake. It's fun. I don't know why this will always be satisfying to be able to drive a vehicle out onto a lake. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a child, what can I say? But hopefully you are similar. Don't do it too soon. Make sure that other people are doing it, usually is kind of how I do it. But yeah, don't go out on the ice too soon. Be careful. But anyways, Forest Lake, right over here. that is like downtown Forest Lake, where I was earlier. It's awesome. There's sort of this public park right there. Technically, I believe there's no fishing access from the shore anywhere on Forest Lake. So it's all either privately owned, like real estate homes, or like the beach area, but I believe you can't fish there because it's more of a beach purpose. That said, I did always grow up fishing off docks. It must not have been Forest Lake. I think it was Clear Lake and Green Lake, which are lakes within the Forest Lake area. How's the sun doing? Is that distracting? How would I walk this way? I feel better? Okay, hope that feels better. So, okay, Forest Lake has a pretty cool history. It basically exists because there's a train there was a train that was commonly used between Duluth and St. Paul, and Forest Lake was basically a stop on the train between those two, which is fair. It is definitely between those two, and yeah, a beautiful lake. Now, some of the homes along the lake are gorgeous, like so cool, and you know, it's a good lake. People like to fish Forest Lake on like boats, and people like to do water sports and obviously ice sports as well. And geographically speaking, like I said earlier, this is the furthest north of any video that we've done. You're talking maybe 35 minutes to the Minneapolis-St. Paul airport, maybe 35 minutes to downtown Minneapolis, and maybe 30 minutes to downtown St. Paul. Geographically to the north is Wyoming Township. Shout out to the Village Inn. And the Quick Trip, I just stops along the way north. To the east, you have Scandia, Minnesota. To the south, you have Hugo, Minnesota. And Hugo is just north of White Bear Lake, if you've seen that video. And then to the west, you have Columbus, Minnesota. The population of Forest Lake is right around 23,000. It's not that huge, and it's seen a 21% population increase in the last 10 years, which is actually pretty good. But it makes sense. There's a lot of like land available here, and still, you know, relatively close to the Twin Cities. We have all sorts of people coming here who are used to an hour-and-a-half drive, you know, because they live in LA, and a 45-minute drive is like nothing. So yeah, that makes sense. As far as schools are concerned, overall they get a B. So not the best schools in the metro, but pretty solid. For high school, you have Forest Lake Area High School, that gets a B, and there's also Century Junior High School, which is grades 7 and 8, that gets a B+. Forest Lake Elementary gets a B-. Pretty much all the schools are sitting around a B here in the Forest Lake area. And so, you know, if top 5, top 10 schools is a priority, then you're not going to get them here. But if you know, solid schools and sort of this kind of a quieter, small town feel with still very easy access to downtown is like up your alley, then I would say, you know, pretty good option here. My hands are getting so cold, I'm gonna start walking back to the truck. So then, I would say when you tie in this beautiful outdoor feel and, you know, access to this lake and other lakes too as well in the Forest Lake area, and then you combine that with pretty solid schools, it gets even better when you look at median home price. And the median sale price here is $330,000, which is pretty dang good compared to $350,000, the average of the median. And it's going to be a very like owner occupant heavy area. 78% of the folks who live here own the home they live in. 22% of the people rent the home they live in. I got a truck coming up behind me. Okay, not too bad. And basically the range of the home prices, they range pretty dramatically. On the low end, you have $250,000. On the high end, you have $1.5 million of homes that are currently on the market. There are homes, I would say, around the lake that, you know, have lakefront that are going to be more expensive than 1.5, and that, you know, I mean, 250 you're not getting on the lake at all. But really, you know, 250 is sort of the entry level, and I would say expect more to be closer to 300, you know, as a more realistic barrier for entry. But that's, again, that is pretty good when we're comparing it to the rest of the Twin Cities metro. So, you know, my fingers feel like they're gonna fall off. So let's go for a drive, shall we? y'all. First of all, I don't know if this noise carries that much up to this microphone, but if it does, I apologize. Kind of squeakiness, but that is how the snow is today. It's particularly kind of squeaky, kind of I don't know, nails on a chalkboardy kind of vibe, but hopefully not that bad. But right now I'm in a neighborhood that I believe sums up sort of the middle range of the housing stock here very well. Probably 400 to 600, 700, something like that. Some of these, like some of these ones right back here, are going to be a little more expensive because they're on a lake, not Forest Lake, but smaller lake. And just by default, that gets a little bit more expensive. But even back here, these have like great, there might even be a pond down there, but there's just really nice sort of like private-y, secluded backyard space. This right here also like backs up to like woods, and it's nice, right? Who doesn't want that? A lot of people that we help for sure are into that kind of thing. But anyways, we're talking pros and cons of living here in Forest Lake. Number one, first pro is just the beautiful outdoors. It's, you know, whether we're talking the lake, whether we're talking park spaces, or one of the other lakes here, the outdoors here are very nice. And I think that actually ties into my second pro, which is that it's actually almost an up north feel, right? So an up north, for the uninitiated, just means like northern Minnesota. It's where a lot of folks have cabins here, and there's just kind of a woodsy, you know, woodsy, lake heavy feel. And yeah, Forest Lake has that. Maybe not fully. It's not like you know, Two Harbors or like a Lutzen or something like that, where it's not like, you know, full dense forest where everything's an evergreen or something like that. But still, there's a woodsy, kind of hilly and yeah, lake water dense area that's very cool and generally hard to come by. Then third pro for me is just going to be that there's like a diverse housing stock. So, you know, from ranging from 250 up to 1.5 million currently on the market, but you know, the sweet spot is definitely, you know, maybe 300 to 800. And it's just a wide range of types of homes. You can get, you know, a cuter, older home in the downtown area. You can get, and maybe those would be sub 2,000 square feet, or you could come to this more sort of suburban feeling area and get something with, you know, 3,000, maybe as much as 4,000, or you get a lake property that's just epic, you know, with, I don't know, 500,000 or not 500, 5,000 square feet or something like that. So the diverse housing stock for sure is one of the pros for me. And then I guess last pro is really just going to be, it has all of the suburban staples, right? So all of like the classic stores and just amenities that you're thinking with a suburb, it has that, even though it's debatably a suburb, right? Some people would argue that it's not a suburb, that it's a town outside of the metro, but it definitely feels like a suburb in like sort of the offerings, and it doesn't feel like a tiny town where you have to leave it to go get everything. And then, you know, this is a cul-de-sac. I thought I'd turn down a street, so I'm just gonna turn around, start making my way back to the old truck so my fingers don't fall off. So, okay, first con is that the schools are solid, they're decent, but they're not great, right? And so if schools are like the thing, like priority number one, then yeah, unfortunately, you're not gonna get them here. They're gonna be, again, decent. We're talking like a B overall. Yeah, not in the upper echelon. I think your kids will get, you know, for most folks, it's going to be perfectly satisfactory. But for a lot of people who are really after, you know, like that elite school, it's gonna fall short. So, you know, yeah, there's other spots that have similar vibes that are gonna offer better schools, but they're gonna be more expensive. So something to keep in mind. Next con, and this is like, I suppose this is probably true of a lot of places that have like a big lake in them, but the lake, while it's absolutely beautiful and I love it for that, it actually can cause an inconvenience, right? Because it's pretty large and a little bit oddly shaped, as a lot of them are. You like right now I'm on the eastern side of the lake, and most of the amenities are on the western side of the lake. So it's like 15 minutes from here to like where the target is, which is where a lot of the amenities are. So, you know, it's like, yeah, cool, we have a target here in Forest Lake, but it's 15 minutes away, which, you know, I mean, some of y'all again are like, well, big deal. That's fair, but something to consider, because there are a lot of other places where a target is going to be 5 to 10 minutes away, right? Or the amenities are going to be 5 to 10 minutes away. And I'm not even that far east either in Forest Lake. I'm just to the east of the lake itself. And then last con is just that some of the areas, like this is a very, very nice area, and most of it is very nice, but there are some areas here with a little bit of dinge and a little bit of like what I like to call echoes of a rural past, right? Where it's just a little bit, I don't know, stuff in the yard and just generally not as well cared for as, you know, an area like this. But that is the minority for sure, right? Like most of the homes here, I would say most of the neighborhoods, most of the areas are very nice, very well maintained, and yeah, they don't have that dinge, but some of them for sure do. So, okay, before I get hypothermia, I'm gonna head back to the truck. Let's go for a drive, shall we? So right now I'm in the sort of suburban commercial core of Forest Lake. Right here is a Target. There's like an AutoZone, Applebee's, and all the PetSmart, Walmart, and just tons of stuff. I can see so many different signs of sort of classic suburban amenities, and it's all right here. And when you're here, I mean, right behind me there is I-35, which is both 35W and 35E, where they connect, and which gives you really good access to the you know, the downtown, either both downtown St. Paul or downtown Minneapolis, and then also, you know, heading up north to Duluth or the North Shore or wherever. And, you know, to me, really, that's what it's about. It's about being really close to the metro, like either downtown, even though distance-wise you're kind of far, so easy to get to because you're so close to both 35W and 35E, because that's where they split off. And then, you know, this sort of like up north feel that's pretty difficult to find anywhere else. That's another big one. And then again, right where I am, all these suburban staples, so nice to have here. But, you know, if you watch these videos, you know we have a section called For Fans Of, which is to say, if you like what you see here, here are some other spots to check out. This one I actually thought was pretty easy to do. The first one that comes to mind, partly because of geography and partly because of, you know, the lake and whatever, is White Bear Lake. It's pretty close by, but it has a lot of similarities. A cute little downtown, suburban staples, decent schools, but not amazing schools, relatively affordable. So yeah, White Bear Lake is almost like the closest, you know, pound for pound match. Next up is Elk River. Elk River, we don't have a video on yet, but we will. It's to the sort of northwest of the suburbs. It's actually, I think, technically further north than here. But again, cute downtown, relatively affordable, and kind of this like up north feel. Next is Anoka, really similar for a lot of those same exact reasons. The downtown, the up north feel. And the next two are basically, if you like the lake aspect, if you like the small downtown, but you want really good schools, then I would say Stillwater, definitely check out. And then like Wayzata. Wayzata has some of the best schools in the whole state. Stillwater has very good schools and still sort of a quaintness that you see here. So for those reasons, I would check those out, but that's only, you're gonna be paying more money and you're gonna have access to better schools. But you know, whatever it is, whatever area you sort of decide on, it's all good. We'll help you get there. We know the whole metro extremely well. As you can obviously see, we have videos on so many of these areas. We'd love to be the ones to help you make the move here, to help you buy a home here. It's what we do, and it's what we do better than anybody else. So get a hold of us however you can. Go to our website, tothetwincities.com, fill out the contact form. It is a piece of cake, or shoot us an email directly to info@tothetwincities.com. And yeah, they lead to the same spot, which is us. We'll crush it for you, absolutely promise. And as always, if you have not done so yet, subscribe to the channel, click the bell to get notified. Every time we put out these videos, it's getting loud, and I apologize. And yeah, thanks for hanging out. Give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment. I'd love to know what you think about Forest Lake. I'd love to know what other areas you're into, you know, seeing a video on. And we'll see you in the next one. We did it. Bye-bye.